Hello, welcome. My name is Adam, and this is the Final Fantasy playlist. And in today's episode, we're talking all about the Black Vein Prophecy. Black Vein Prophecy is the 42nd book in the Final Fantasy series, and it was released in 1990. And it had two writers. It was written by Paul Mason, and it was written by Stephen Williams. And the cover illustration, as well as the internal illustrations, was done by Terry Oakes. Now, I've got to say, Terry Oakes, class act on this book, for not only for doing the cover and the internal, but for the illustrations you've done, mate. The cover illustration, as you can see, it's okay. It's sort of like you look at it and you go, well, I don't know what that's all about, but it's adequate. It's very skillfully and nicely done. But you turn into the inside, every single drawing on the inside, you turn to any artwork, and it's just like fantastically detailed, beautifully done. Every single piece of line art inside is highly detailed, really. And considering the same artist is the same one, that's probably the most basic one I've seen in the book, in the whole book. But every single one is just beautiful. Considering the amount of time they have to do these books, that's amazing work. As I say, it was released in 1990. Now the story. Let's dive into the story, because it's got a unique story and a first as well for the Final Fantasy series. They always find a way to bring something new and fresh to it. So you get a map inside right there. Okay, the Isles of Dawn. Okay, and this is what the internal words say. The Black Vein Prophecy was decreed many, many years ago, in the time of the fiendish ruler Bizenvile. But its arcane power reaches across time to curse the land. Now the Child King's hold over the Isles of Dawn is crumbling to nothing, as ancient evil emerges once more to reclaim its birthright. Awakening inside a dusty sarcophagus, you are plunged into a bewildering world cursed with the taint of chaos and war. But for there is more pressing need to discover just who you are. The fragments of distant memories provide some clues, and those you meet on the road may offer others. Ultimately, though, it will be you to discover just who you are and how you can fulfill the ancient prophecy. So, the story itself is pretty cool. Now, I can't actually tell you anything about the story. I don't want to spoil the story. Okay, because this is we've had books in the past series, Creature of Havoc, where you play as an unknown entity and you have to find out who you are in the book. We've had that before. Okay, that's nothing like sort of new to this series, right? But what we haven't had is you don't even start with skill, stamina, or luck. You don't even get to create an adventure sheet. So you open up the book and straight away you have the adventure sheet, okay, with the boxes there, as normal. The next page, which is usually the rules, telling you how to play the book, is not there. It's the introduction, okay? And the introduction is just that there. That's it. Just that short paragraph. And that is all you get. You don't get any background information to who you are. You don't get any background to the story. You just get given this, and it basically says you will not be told any backstory, and you will discover your strengths and weaknesses by trial and error, and you will not have to roll the dice to determine these yet. These will be determined once the adventure is underway. And if you do wish to read about the rules, go to the back of the book, and you will find them there. Now, the Wizard re-release books, they do this now, where the rules are in the back and the stories in the front. But back then, this was the first time the rules go in the back, and the introduction, was put more at the front. And the introduction you get is nothing. It doesn't tell you anything about the story. The first word in this is blackness. That's it. So you don't know where you are. You don't know who you are. And you don't know what the story is. And that is the unique part of this, because you're starting afresh. So I don't want to tell you what the story is, because it's going to ruin the surprise. I really just would say go read this book, because it is really good. It's, I think, a real hidden gem within the Final Fantasy series, because not many people talk about it. It's not on the top 10. It wasn't even nominated once, but it is a real unique book in like not unique in the fact that you play as an unknown character. We've had that before, but you don't even start with strengths and weaknesses, and you don't even know what the story is. Like the Creature of Havoc, when it gave you all this back history of a world around the kind of like the Troll Tooth sort of wars type of storyline, and it gave you backstory to the world, but not to who you were. And this one doesn't even give you that. So you really do start with a blank slate. I would just say go check it out. Like if you're collecting all these books, obviously it's on your hit list. You're gonna get it. If you're not into collecting and you just want to read a cool book, check this book out because it is really good, really nicely written as well. But it also has a first for the series. So you have the rules in the back. We know that. Okay, cool. But in the series of Final Fantasy, there are only 400 entries in these books. So, you turn a page this, you turn a page that, or paragraph, and then you've won the book when it says turn to 400, because 400 is always the winning sort of move entry. And you just go and you go, yes, I've done it. And you read the 400. And when you first buy the book, you always kind of flick to page, paragraph 400 and go, ooh, how does it end? But this one, you can't do that. Okay, because page 400, as you can see, has another entry at the bottom, 389. So that's not the end. 400 is not the end of the book. You have to then continue reading. I haven't got to the end of this book yet, okay? So I don't know what the end is. And even if I did, I wouldn't tell you. It's a great book, and I would just say go check it out, okay? Black Vein Prophecy, that is. Next week, we've got the Keep of the Lich Lord. That's another classic that I can't wait to get into. So we shall dive into that next week. Let me know your comments. Let me know your sort of, don't spoil anything, but just let me know what you thought of this book in the comment section below. And next week we shall read all about the Keep of the Lich Lord. Take care then, adventurers. Till then, bye-bye.